Good evening and welcome to the July 28th, 2015 Town Board meeting for the Town of Ossining. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, we have Marcus.
Councilmember Jeffrey,
Present.
Councilmember Wilshire,
Present.
Councilmember Blaha,
Present.
and Supervisor Donnelly.
Present.
Do we have any announcements this evening?
We do. The town of Ossining has so many great accomplishments by so many talented people who love working together as a team that we should spend more time talking about the good things and little to no time about those who wish to cost the taxpayers money and do not like necessary change or the making of hard decisions. Unnecessary and frivolous lawsuits and foils drain this great community of not only financial resources but valuable employee time. There is some interesting and challenging news came out of Albany last week. The allowed increase in the tax levy is 0.73%. That is 0.75%. It's less than 1%. While this administration strives to control tax increases every year with out-of-the-box innovative business methods, the state of New York and federal governments continue to push unfunded mandates down onto the local governments, resulting in less to spend on important services and infrastructure projects needed at the local level. We must work together to evaluate these mandates and ensure that they are necessary. It is not about allowing municipalities to fund them outside of the tax cap, but rather to make sure that they are necessary, not overburdening to the local municipalities and or redundant. We need to support we need the support from the federal and state governments for infrastructure projects. The budget of the town of Ossining. It's time again that we begin our budget process for the 2016 calendar year. We will begin putting our numbers together while evaluating the personnel needs in each department. This process takes several months, and we are very proud of Maddie, who is our budget director. It is a privilege to work with her and our department managers as we put together the supervisor's budget that provides the services that residents and commercial property owners deserve while controlling taxes. And then it goes to the next step. The town of Ossining, the town parks department, scarifier, if you don't know what a scarifier is, because I didn't know what a scarifier was, is the machine that breaks up the clay on the fields, on the baseball and softball fields. You're so far away. And the softball fields. Well, the scarifier broke down. This is a tool that's used every day to break up the clay. We began the process of pricing out a new one, and they were between $14,000 and $16,000. I was shocked. That's scary.
That's why they call it that.
We began to look at used ones because about 2 years ago we passed a resolution that if it was a good piece of equipment, we could use used ones. And we began to, which were between $4,500 and $6,000. I was still a little shocked. Our parks foreman took it upon himself to build a scarifier. This way they would not be inheriting someone else's problems or burdening the taxpayers with the cost of a new piece of equipment. Bravo to Mario and his team for always thinking out of the box and coming up with cost-effective solutions. Not only that, but he says it works better than any other scarifier he's ever had.
Bravo.
Highway. Our highway department, as if you might have noticed out in the roads, is very, very busy with the paving of the roads. Some roads are being milled, which means to rip off old layers of asphalt and prepare the roads for paving. The highway team has been out preparing the roads by raising manhole covers, lifting storm drains, and preparing the roads for the company to come in and do their job. The highway team right now is out there manning traffic posts during the milling and paving, so please be careful of them and respect them. While some of you might think it's an easy job, it is not. Not to mention that it is a very dangerous one. We were out with them for a little while today. In senior nutrition, the new vans are in and the seniors love them. We are happy to have these new vehicles to drive around our most precious resource, our seniors. Our assistant Bess and I went to a very interesting meeting this morning concerning CDBG funding that has been unavailable in Westchester County for the past 4 to 5 years. Thanks to elected officials like Nita Lowy and our representatives in the state of New York, is going to administrate funding from the federal government. While this is just one tool in the toolbox for funding by municipalities, is it important for communities, especially ones like the Village of Ossining, who use these funds to do their road and sidewalk repair. In 2009, the town was awarded funds to replace the restrooms at Gerlach Park under CDBG, and there was never a distribution of funds because of the ongoing issues with HUD and Westchester County over affordable housing. We will be resubmitting for funding in 2015 again for this project. The time frame is short, so we have already begun the project. One of the questions we asked of the folks that came down from Albany was to explain the program to us. Can we use it to complete funding of other projects? The answer is no. If you've already started a project with CDBG funds, you're never allowed, with other funding, or you've already started a project, you can't go back with CDBG. In our case, it would be additional funding needed to complete the recycling of the water at the John Travokas spray deck on Lewis Angle Park. The initial $100,000 from Senator Carlucci was a major shot in the arm. We have added an item to our agenda this evening, authorizing the engineering company this board approved in May of 2014 to design the spray recirculation program to now seek final approval from Westchester County Department of Health. So just telling you that we added that just to let us sign that contract. There are some very exciting things happening here in Ossining. Tomorrow evening, July 29th, First Niagara Bank of South Highland Avenue from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. There will be SCORE, which is people that SCORE mentors. They mentor small business owners. Will speak on how to finance and grow your business. Please join them. The Ossining baseball team, 12-11, I don't know why it's not 11-12, but 12-11, I wrote it down exactly the way they have it, won their first game in the New York State Little League Tournament on Thursday. And they play Comac south from Long Island in the Bronx at 5:30 at 1500 Water Street. For more information, please visit Little League District 22 on a Facebook site. And that's Thursday night that they're playing their next game. Friday night's concert series continues this Friday with Terry Lamar and New Company with our own KJ Denhart on August 14th and the Old Mill Singers on August 21st. We skip August 7th because we will all be lining up all down the roads of Croton Avenue and Main Street for the viewing with the reviewing stand at the post office to watch the Firemen's Parade. So that again is August 7th. We have on Saturday afternoon, we have the plein air paint out and auction. What happens is at Chatham, 35 plus artists go out and they have the day to paint some picture of something that they see in nature, and then they auction them off at night. And I have to tell you, if you've never gone there, or if you've gone there, go back again. But it is absolutely fabulous. I never miss this.
When is it?
It's Saturday night. The preview of the auction items start at 3 p.m. It's at Chatham Yacht Club, and the auction is at 5 p.m. Rain or shine.
Saturday night.
Saturday night, August 1st, this Saturday night. Also on Saturday night was supposed to be Summerfest. Summerfest has been canceled for this Saturday night. From what we understand, and as of this moment, it will not be rescheduled this year, but we hope it returns next year bigger and better than ever. Sunday, August 2nd, just so we don't have any confusion on dates, at 9 a.m. will be Ladies Kayak Day 2. Join us for a fun paddle on the Hudson River. Chatham Yacht Clubs invites you to Ladies Kayak Day on Sunday, August 2nd, backed by popular demand. They will be starting at 9 a.m. and will kayak from the Chatham Yacht Club beach to the north side of the property. Bring your own kayak. They are going to be charging $10 for every participant, but all of those monies are going to go to the Ossining Dare program, which is a great program that the police do with the fifth graders. It's very exciting. From what I understand, they have approximately 75 paddlers right now. So it looks like it will be a very crowded little river.
Lots of people have their own kayaks, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'd be surprised. Yeah. I would say to someone, yeah, well, you have to bring your own. I have a kayak. Okay. And they'll start at 8 a.m. with breakfast. And if you have any questions at all, you can talk to Day at Shadamuck, and it's Docmaster, SYC at hotmail.com. Saturday, August 8th, the Ossining Historical Cemetery Conservancy will be cleaning gravestones at Dale Cemetery from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's so 9 in the morning to 12 noon. Please help this group preserve the historical grave sites. It's worth a trip to see how beautiful Dale Cemetery looks now. We encourage everyone to drive through this memorial park. Speaking of Dale Cemetery, the speed limit is 15 miles per hour. The roads are small and very curvy. Many, many family members are walking on these roads. Also, that we have noticed that there was some dumping of construction debris in the cemetery. This will not be tolerated, as well as speeding, and the police will be patrolling Dale, and we will take whatever action is needed to stop certain individuals from dumping or speeding through any of our parkland. The gate at Dale Avenue is only open on the weekends for the convenience of those visiting loved ones, not as a drive-through. There is a heat advisory with heat indexes going as high as the upper 90s and low 100s for the next few days. Please look in at your neighbors, especially our seniors, if they are living alone and might not have turned on their air conditioners or don't have them. I have gone to seniors' homes and apartments, and they really, a lot of times, do not realize how hot it is in their apartments, because my mom is always cold. So no matter what, but you can go in her apartment and it will be literally an oven. So please do that. If you are a senior and don't have air conditioning, you should be spending more time at the community center. Please remember there are camps there, but each and every one of you is important to us. We will ask Kathy to have more games such as bingo and cards to entertain you. Starting Thursday, the John Travokas Spray Park at Lewis Angle Park will be open from 11 to 7 throughout the heat wave. So that will be throughout at least Saturday. It will be probably into Sunday too, so that we can make sure that everybody stays cool and relaxed in this very, very, very hot. And we ask everyone to be very, very careful out there. Kim, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to remind, there's so many dates. I don't know. I hope everybody had pads and pencils. Yeah. And to add another date, on August 5th, which I believe is a Wednesday, it is a week from tomorrow, so next Wednesday, Senator Carlucci, along with Senator Terrence Murphy, and OASIS, which is the state substance abuse organization, and Communities That Care, are all partnering to host a naloxone training. Many people know it as Narcan. This is the antidote for anyone who has had an overdose of an opioid or heroin. It is unfortunate that it is necessary, but it is. And so you can call the office at 914-941-2041 to add your name. Should you like to come, it's open to the public. Anybody can attend. Again, it is at the library in Ossining, in the Boot Arts Theater, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock on August 5th, which is a Wednesday. Thank you.
And it'll be nice and cool in there, too, if we're still in this heat wave. Because they keep extending the heat wave. I was watching the news today, and they said, well, we're going to extend the heat wave a couple more days. A lot of heat. Anyway, Madam Clerk.
Do we have any comments on any of the agenda items? Not seeing any, we'll move into the resolutions. Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Boston hereby approves the July 14th, 2015 minutes of the regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Ossing hereby approves voucher detail report dated July 28th, 2015, in the amount of $440,049.98. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Kind of a high one.
One of the bills that's in there alone was, I believe, the village IMA payment, and that's easily a quarter of it before
Yeah,
you
yeah.
even touch anything else.
It's just, especially with the police added on there.
Tax Certiorari Highland Terrace Owners Corporation versus the Town of Ossining. Whereas proceedings pursuant to Article 7 of the Real Property Tax Law of the State of New York were instituted by Highland Terrace Owners Corporation against the Town of Ossining to review the tax assessments made on petitioner's property located at 123-135 South Highland Avenue and Holbrook Road in the Town of Ossining, and designated on the tax assessment map of the Town of Ossining as Section 97.12, Block 1, Lot 8, and Section 97.12, Block 4, Lot 32, all for tax assessment years 2008 through 2014, which proceedings are now pending in the Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of Westchester, under index numbers 21433, 2008, 22106, 2009, 24075, 2010, 14825, 2011, 65740, 2012, 64240, 2013, and 65345, 2014. And whereas the above petitioner has agreed to a compromise and settlement, such proceedings subject to the approval of the town board, correcting and reducing the assessed valuation of its real property improvements as follows. I won't read all of these, I'll just move on to the whereas any and all refunds necessitated by said settlement will be made without interest, and whereas the town board, upon the recommendation of the assessor incurred by the town attorney, finds the proposed settlement appropriate and in the best interest of the town of Ossining. Now therefore it is resolved that settlement of proceedings on the terms set forth herein is hereby accepted and approved, subject to the approval of the Supreme Court, Westchester County, wherein such proceedings are pending. As further resolved that the town attorney hereby authorized and directed to procure and execute any documents necessary to effectuate such settlement. And is further resolved, subject to the approval of the Supreme Court, Westchester County, that the assessor is authorized and directed to make the changes and corrections to the individual unit assessment on the tax assessment roll of the town of Ossining, which will be ordered pursuant to consent judgment to be entered in accordance with the terms of this settlement. The receiver of taxes is authorized and directed to process and pay the refund town of Ossining taxes estimated to be $3,681.07, which will be ordered pursuant to said consent judgment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Want to make it? All right. Just want to make one comment on it. There's two parcels here. One got no reduction whatsoever. Some of these reductions were from 2008, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So I think the assessor did a good job. And all of these are posted both on the web page. All this information is posted on the web page, and it's also available in the clerk's office. Madam Clerk.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby accepts with regret the resignation of court attendant Elijah Garrison effective July 7th, 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Garrison went on to become a correctional officer.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby rescinds the appointment of Stefan Miller to the seasonal position of recreation attendant originally appointed by this town board on May 26th, 2015, to be effective May 30th, 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the town board of the town of Ossining has made a concerted effort to lower the amount of town-owned vehicles, and whereas the town board recently approved the purchase of 2 transit vans for use by the senior nutrition program to replace 2 vehicles in the department that have outlived their usefulness to the town. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes the following vehicles no longer being used by the senior nutrition program to be declared surplus and then to be sold at auction, on Auction International to the highest bidder. And it's a 2001 Ford Taurus wagon and a 2007 Chevrolet Impala. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the town of Ossining contracts with the village of Ossining for police services, the unincorporated area of the town of Ossining, and whereas the town of Ossining wishes to supplement these services with the Mutual Aid and Rapid Response IMA, an agreement which the town currently enjoys along with other Westchester municipalities who seek additional emergency backup for their first responders, an agreement that expires on July 30th, 2015. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign this agreement with the Westchester County Department of Public Safety in a form approved by the town attorney and upon review and comment by the Village of Ossining Police Department. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
This is the helicopters and the and the SWAT teams when they come in. Should you ever meet them, but we hope never to.
I just wanted to ask one question
Sure.
about the vans. Not, well,
Seniors, Vince?
seniors.
The station.
These are those station wagons.
Yeah, one's a station wagon and one is one of the old police cars, but it needs a very, very expensive computer.
No,
Yeah. So one is that we put the other station wagon into the cemetery, just to be driven around the cemetery.
oh.
I'd like to.
Okay.
It's only to be used to drive around, drive somebody around the cemetery, so.
But what about that, sorry, just,
Okay.
what about that bus bouncing and jumping?
They don't have any problems with that bus. No, yeah. That's something, that exactly is it is the senior bus program, and when we were looking through our CDBGs, that is something that we can go after a CDBG grant for, is another bus maybe for 2016. We have a very, very tiny window, so what they're suggesting to people, or what they suggested to the people that we were talking to, was to use anyone's, go in and with anyone that you didn't get yet from, that was going through the usual CDBGs, but definitely, but not quite the problems that we had with it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the town board has commissioned the team from Trace Pools of Lothrop Associates LLP Architects to design the spray park recirculation project at Lewis Angle Park. Whereas the contracted engineering team requires permission from the town to correspond with the Westchester County Department of Health for the purposes of execution and delivery of a permit to operate. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby authorizes the supervisor to sign the certificate of resolution for authorization for spray park project. Do I have a motion?
So moved, but I also have a question. Did we specify that this is the John Travokas Spray Park?
Sure. Yeah. But John Travoka's spray park at Lewis Angle Park.
Right.
Okay.
Can I just, I guess I'll wait till we say.
No, go ahead.
So I'm just, because I just want to be clear. So this is so Trace Pools, the design people, what's the permit to operate?
That they are the ones that are going to the health department to get approvals of all their plans and everything.
Right.
So they are the ones that go back and forth, back and forth. It's
So that process hadn't, so they
We're not
haven't.
finished yet. They came back with a whole list of things that they wanted us to do. This is being one of them, is to pass a resolution allowing them to talk to Trace Pool while this is all going on. They're not going to operate the
No.
spray park.
I guess I'm just trying to, okay, so they had been talking to us, I guess, and not
Well, they submitted everything for us to the health
through
department.
us.
Right.
And so
right.
they want to, in order to be able to speak directly to them, that's.
And get this done.
Yes, okay.
Okay?
I'm all for
We're-
that.
We really want to get this done. Okay, Madam Clerk.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
As amended.
Correspondence to be received and
As
filed.
amended, yeah.
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby accepts the Town Planning Board meeting minutes dated June 24th, 2000. Have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Monthly reports. Resolved the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby accepts the following monthly reports for the month of June 2015. Helicopter report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That completes your resolutions for this evening,
Okay.
and we'll move into visitor recognition. Is there anyone who would like to address the board?
Yeah, I have the original. Here.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Yep. Can you hear her, Tom?
Can you hear me?
And Donna, just give your name and address, okay?
So I understand that September 1st
Donna, just give
is-
your name and address, okay?
Donna Sharrett, 84 Morningside Drive. I understand there's going to be a public hearing about the amended codes, but I had some comments that I have been researching, so I would like to speak to you now about them, if that's all right.
That's okay.
So I've been doing a lot of research about protecting the wetlands and in regards to our amending the code. So I'm going to read you some of my research. It's really, really abbreviated because I respect how you guys probably want to get home. So I do have links, which I won't read any of that.
Can I just interrupt you for 1 second? And anything you have, you can feel free to send it to us, and we'll put it in with all the other stuff that we have, especially if it has
Okay,
links.
so then I'll send you this.
And that would be good for the minutes, too. Yeah.
Okay, great. Stated in the Environmental Protection's 2001 publication, Threats to Wetlands, more than 220 million acres of wetlands are thought to have existed in the lower 48 states in the 1600s. Approximately 100 million wetlands remain. That's in 2001. That's less than half. But they continue to be lost at a rate of 60,000 acres annually. And it continues, development pressure is emerging as the largest cause of wetland loss. One recommendation in this publication under the heading, What You Can Do, is, I quote, work with your local municipalities and state to develop laws and ordinances that protect and restore wetlands. So here I am, doing as directed here. 2 months ago, the Clean Water Act was amended, and upon that amendment, the EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers issued their joint publication dated May 2015, technical support document for the Clean Water Rule Definitions of Waters of the United States. And I'm just going to read you three. It's like hundreds of pages long. I'm just going to read you 3 bullet points. The Clean Water Act jurisdiction extends to all waters that have a hydrological connection to and form part of the tributary system of a traditional navigable water, which would be the Hudson, including streams that flow intermittently or ephemerally. In sum, the Corps' unremarkable interpretation of the term, quote, waters of the United States, end quote, as including wetlands adjacent to tributaries of navigable waters is permissible under the Clean Water Act because pollutants added to any of these tributaries will eventually find their way to the very waters that Congress has sought to protect. The second one from page 170 is, one of the main conclusions of the science report is that the incremental contributions of individual streams and wetlands are cumulative across entire watersheds. And the last one that I'm going to read to you from page 183, small streams and wetlands are particularly effective at retaining and attenuating floodwaters. One of the greatest threats to Ossing's wetlands is from development. Just last week, an application was submitted to the Town of Ossining Building Department for a project which proposes to eliminate a 10,000 square foot wetland, as is permitted in our wetland code, which only regulates wetlands that are half an acre or larger. The Town of Ossining should welcome development which respects our land. Our wetland code should provide protection from those whose intentions are otherwise. The wetland code currently and as proposed is inadequate to do this. For those who advocate the rights of man outweigh the need for environmental protection, and there's a lot of people that feel that way, I invite you to view wetland and watercourse protection as a public safety issue. Stated in the EPA's 2006 publication, Wetlands Protecting Life and Property from Flooding, wetlands, when considered on average, have the capacity to retain 3 feet of stormwater. 1 cubic foot holds 7.48 gallons of water. That 10,000 square foot wetland that's being proposed to be eliminated could potentially hold 224,400 gallons of stormwater. The roughly estimated 7,500 square foot wetland on my property has the potential to hold at least 168,300 gallons of stormwater, a wetland that would be protected in every town in Westchester except the towns of Ossining and Pound Ridge. Small wetlands along a watershed offer tremendous stormwater retention services, particularly when considered cumulatively. When you eliminate a wetland, its stormwater retention capacity is lost, and stormwater that would have been captured flows downstream, with the potential to flow into downstream communities. The wetland proposed to be eliminated is just upstream from the village of Ossining. For those who take the threat of climate change seriously, wetlands offer tremendous carbon sequestration services. To reduce fossil fuel consumption while eliminating wetlands is at best a zero-sum game. All existing wetlands must be protected. Regarding buffers, the Environmental Law Institute's March 2008 publication, A Planner's Guide to Wetland Buffers for Local Governments, illustrates the necessity of a 100-foot buffer for protection against the introduction of nitrogen. Nitrogen and other pollutants are equally harmful to water courses and wetlands. A 100-foot buffer should be required for both watercourses and wetlands. Both the current and proposed wetland code only requires a 50-foot buffer for watercourses, and this doesn't make any sense to me. They both should have a 100-foot. In summary, wetlands of all sizes support mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, insects, and plants. They should be permitted to functionally exist as long as the earth has the ability to support life. Every resident in the town of Ossining lives in a watershed. All towns of Ossining's watersheds lead to the Hudson River. Bocanico watershed includes our downstream neighbors. Nature does not recognize man-made boundaries. Wetlands and streams, when negatively impacted or destroyed on one property, can and quite often do cause negative impacts or destruction downstream. Rachel Carson's 1962 book, Silent Spring, includes the quote, "Water must be thought of in terms of the chains of life it supports." In this year, 2015, all the town of Ossining wetlands should be regulated and protected regardless of size. 100-foot buffers should be required for all wetlands, water bodies, and watercourses. Thank you.
Thank you, and please, Donna, make sure you get that to us, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
I wanna thank you for educating us. I mean, I don't know if you're reading all of those. I mean, it seems like you are, and I appreciate the fact that we always need people who have different interests and knowledge, because we all don't know everything. And so I want to just take the time to appreciate the fact that you are doing that work and making that your cause. And clearly there's a big conversation about our environment all over the place, climate, and so these are important things. And so I appreciate the fact that you have educated all of us a little bit today.
Madam Supervisor, just one moment.
Sorry.
I have her statement here, and I will make copies for the board.
Okay, and if she sends it to us, we get the links. That's what happens.
Can I ask one question? It says, so our code right now is a half an acre? And what is the rest of Westchester for the most part?
That is the highest of the towns, Westchester. The next highest is Pound Ridge, which is a 1/4 acre. Then you have and I don't remember the towns, but you
The
have
next highest is Pound Ridge with the what's your quarter?
acre.
So we are the
At least
highest.
We are the highest
Okay.
twofold. And then there's a 5,000 square foot size. Forget which town that is. And then there's a 1/10 of an acre size. And then the rest have no size restriction whatsoever. The rest, those that have no size restriction, for the most part, that have no size restriction, were recently in the past 10 years amended regulations.
To change it.
Yes, because I think there's a particularly with flooding,
Right.
it's recognized. So if you have one 5,000 square foot wetland along a tributary and then a 1,000 square foot tributary a little further down, like cumulatively, they're all taking a little bit of that stormwater and holding it and letting it release slowly into the ground. So it's adds a protection. So if you're only protecting the couple of a half an acre or quarter acre wetlands, and you're eliminating all those other ones, you're sending a lot of water
Right.
downstream.
And Okay. so, my last question is, when you had the information with respect to towns, but that doesn't include villages specifically, or cities, or
Well,
I'm just asking what you looked into.
Yeah, I
That's
just
all.
looked at all the towns in
Okay.
Westchester, and there is the town of the Mount Kisco. I think it's considered a town village. That also has no size limit, but I did not look at all of.
Okay. No, I didn't. I'm just.
This is not, we wanted to let her make her comment, but this big discussion is going to, because we're talking about the new laws that we're looking to do, which I think everyone needs to educate themselves on, but I think you need to have both sides, everybody needs to know the facts. So if you have questions, I think we need to ask them at a time where we have lots of people in the room to make sure that we get all the information. That's all I'm saying. September 1st, I want to remind everyone, is going to be our town hall meeting where we're going to talk, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the steep slopes, we're going to talk about the wetlands, we're going to talk about the trees, we're going to talk about the, there's two more. The notice requirements, and then the number of units per, that we're allowing. So I want to encourage everyone to read up on what the proposed laws are right now. The EAC has given us their suggestions. The planning board is working on theirs as we speak. They have a meeting on Wednesday, and we want to make sure that we have all the facts in front of us. So as we move forward. But thank you, Donna. That's very interesting. Okay. September 1st. Are you in town September 1st? If you're not, I'm sure you will be. So we wanted to make, it's a terrible day but Labor Day is so late this year, and that's part of the problem. Okay, so we wanted to remind people about that. We want to make sure that people take care of the weather this weekend. Did you want to close the meeting, Madam Clerk? And then...
We have anyone else who would like to?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Board?
I'm sorry. You want to speak? Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to...
Hey, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, so anyway, thank you for that interesting information, and I'm interested in reading those links that you have there. Also, we want to remind everyone to look on the webpage. We do have all the laws and the comprehensive plan, which we did not close that public hearing. The public hearings will be done that night, too, so it should be a nice long night. We want to make sure that everybody has their information together, and so that we can have a good discussion on it. And so we thank you and have a great week, and please stay cool. And I heard today on the news that you shouldn't go out between 10 a.m. and 4 in the afternoon. So I'm saying to myself, oh my God, then you're never going to get outside.
And all those kids who are in our camps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure they're spraying them down a lot and stuff. So thank you very much and have a great week.